Good afternoon, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. It is Thursday, but for yours truly, it is Friday. That's right, I am off starting tomorrow throughout the weekend and into Tuesday of next week. And I have a message for one Brian Gutekunst while I am away. The trade is in your hands, dude. I need to repeat that. The trade is in your hands. Anything could happen over the course of the next 4 days while I'm away. Whatever transpires, I'm counting on you to close the deal and get it done, but don't leak it until I'm back. Because when I booked this trip, I thought for sure, the trade will be done by then. And guess what? It's not done. So all of this to say, the trade goes down this weekend. You're not going to hear from me. I'm going to be down in New Orleans living life. Meantime, good to see everybody in the comment section, everyone mixing it up. Hope you're all doing well. Brandy's here. Of course, Brandy's here. Dennis is here. Good to see you, Dennis. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Tim, how are you, man? Good to see you. Are you nuts to want a running back at 16? Most likely because the Packers pick at 15, so that makes picking one at 16 a little difficult. You're not nuts for wanting it? No player is absolutely crazy, other than maybe a punter in the first round. I'd be absolutely shocked if the Packers went that route, but hey, man, you do you. Do what you got to do. Michael, thanks for the super chat. Do quarterbacks like Tim Boyle make rosters because they can function as de facto assistant coaches? I think backups also add value in the practice room / on scout team. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a component of it, Michael. Michael undoubtedly mentioning Boyle because the news came out this afternoon that Boyle has signed with the New York Jets, adding to Green Bay East here in New York. Little doubt that his familiarity with the system, having played under Nathaniel Hackett in Green Bay, clearly one of Aaron Rodgers' favorite people. Aaron has been effusive in his praise about Boyle throughout the years, so clearly that's another component of making Aaron comfortable. And to your point, Michael, the room and the makeup of the room and who's in there and who's bouncing ideas off of each other and who's chiming in and who has a pair of eyes that Aaron trusts. Well, definitely Tim Boyle. So, there's definitely value in that. I don't know about de facto assistant coaches, but yeah, they certainly that type of thing is considered. There's no doubt. Now, maybe not to the extent that you want to sign a guy just because the superstar is comfortable with him. I don't think that happens in too many NFL cities, but Aaron Rodgers is a special cat, so there's a little doubt that has been talked about. Michael, thank you for the super chat. I had high hopes for Amari Rodgers in year 2. It's too bad we couldn't see him more from scrimmage instead of trying to make a returner out of him. Michael, I couldn't agree more. I think it's, really unfortunate that, the real ironic thing is that, obviously Aaron Rodgers having his little moment back in 2020 and demanding the trade for Randall Cobb, a player who is really close with Amari Rodgers and helped mentor him and known him since he was 12 years old. But his presence in Green Bay ultimately sealed the deal for Amari not being able to get on the field, and Aaron very much preferring to work with Randall rather than Amari. It's very unfortunate. I am fascinated to see how the rest of his career turns out. He seemed to hit the ground running pretty well down in Houston. Now, Houston's a bit of a shit show, obviously, as a franchise, but hopefully they get it turned around, and he's a part of it. Because I like the guy a lot, talked to him a couple times, seemed like a good dude. And I still think he's got upside as a receiver. Jeff, thanks for the super chat. Remind me why the Jets didn't hold on Favre's rights when he retired. Were they in cahoots with the Vikes? I don't know about cahoots, but they didn't want to deal with it, really. I mean, Favre, quote, retired again and then asked for his release, and they granted it to him, essentially. Don't forget, he was playing well here in New York, and then he got hurt, and the season went south. And then, I think everyone knew he was angling to get to Minnesota. I do think, and I do wonder if, the reason the Packers only got minimal draft assets in return is because the Jets were pretty, maybe not expecting, but they thought there was a good chance that Brett would try to create some drama to try and get his release. So when he got hurt and then he was on the shelf at the end of the year and, the whole season just kind of petered out. I think they wanted to kind of hit a reset, and they didn't want to deal with the Favre drama, and they just granted him his release, which allowed him to sign with the Vikings. And oh, what a time it was. Good times. Thanks for that stroll down amnesia lane. Do I think they keep 2 or 3 quarterbacks on the active roster during the season? Good question, Pack Dat. I think part of it will depend on how said quarterbacks perform in training camp and preseason. And I know we heard from Matt saying that Jordan Love was most likely going to see a bit of time in preseason, so there probably won't be as many reps available. But I do think if somebody, if they have a couple of young guys and maybe both of them are showing out, then there's a good chance they keep both of them. But I also think more likely they'll kind of go the route they've been going, where they'll have their starter and they'll have their backup, and then they'll have a third guy, but he'll be on like the practice squad. Obviously, that doesn't help you if they get in a situation like the 49ers were in the NFC Championship game, but I think that's a pretty rare occurrence, so I don't think they're going to be too worried about it. Excuse me. Clayton, can't believe Cam Newton didn't want to back up Jordan Love. Man, Cam Newton should just be making content. I get he wants to keep playing, but he is great on camera and he's great in conversation. I wish he'd do more of that. It's tons of fun. What is going on here? We got arguing in the comments. People, no arguing in the comments. Come on now. Be nice to each other. Oh, here we go. Oh, there's some good stuff in here. Wait, never mind. Wait, yes, because Aaron Rodgers. If Rodgers wasn't on this team, we would be a damn laughingstock. Well, okay, let's dive into that, Maurice. If Aaron Rodgers wasn't on the team, why would that be? Because the Packers didn't believe in him and pick him when everybody else around the league had no interest. Remember that in the draft? When he was supposed to be the first overall pick and then plummeted to 24? Who took him? Was it the Giants? Or was it the Arizona Cardinals? Was it the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who literally told him that they would select him in the top 10 and then took a running back instead? No, who was it who showed faith in him? Oh, it was the Green Bay Packers. That's right, it was Ted Thompson. So without Ted Thompson, there's no Aaron Rodgers. Oh, and then Aaron Rodgers didn't look good those first couple summers. He wasn't a very good quarterback. Didn't look like a good prospect. And then who was it who developed him? Oh, that's right, it was the Green Bay Packers. That's right, it was Mike McCarthy and Tom Clements and company who developed him into an excellent starting quarterback. And then he became an all-time great, and the Packers built teams around him. Oh, and then they won the Super Bowl. Right, they won a Super Bowl with him and the team. That's right. And then towards the latter years, they kept acquiescing to him, trying to get back to his Super Bowl, even to the point where they were inside the 10-yard line with 3 chances to get in the end zone and couldn't do it. And then, it all kind of fell apart, and then the wheels came off, and all the limitations were exposed, and now he's almost 40 years old. That Aaron Rodgers, is that the one you're talking about? Because I think that's it. I think that's the same guy. I'll have to check my notes, but I think we're talking about the same dude. Vex, thanks to Super Chat. Will any of this trade posturing change the value of the Packers receive? Feels like a waste of time. What am I missing? Well, Vex, you got to separate 2 things here, right? There's what's being said on phone calls or text messages or emails, what have you, between the 2 parties involved, meaning the Jets and the Packers, i.e. Joe Douglas and Brian Gutekunst. And then there's the shit sandwich that is the media and everything being bandied about publicly, right? Look, I'm not going to pretend like it does nothing. Like, the people involved are humans and they're reading stuff, undoubtedly. Now, they're probably avoiding most of it. I know Brian does avoid most of it. Here in New York, it's a little hard to get away from it sometimes, and I'm sure Woody Johnson, owner of the Jets, has his finger on the pulse of what's being said publicly. But most of that means absolutely nothing. Not all of it, but most of it. So, it's entertainment. We sit here and we talk about it. People bandy about ideas or go back and forth about value or leverage or what have you. But that's not what's happening behind the scenes. Those conversations are very different. Mimsy, what's up, man? Thanks for Super Chat. Shout out Tyler for finding the love mock comp to Mahomes. Gotta love it, man. Hey, shout out to, who was it? Was it McShay for making the comp? I mean, I like that a lot better than Merrill Hodge back in the day saying that Brian Braun was going to take Aaron Rodgers' job. That was a classic. That's a draft day classic. What else we got here, folks? What else we got? We got Pack Dat. What's up, man? If you could build an all-time starting O-line of Packers players, who would you have? Also, the Cheesehead TV guide is the Lord's work, makes doing mock drafts fun. Well, thanks for checking it out. And for those of you who haven't, boom, it's available now. There you go. Do it. All-time starting O-line. Man, that's tough. I'll work in and out. Give me Ringo at center. Man, I don't know. Forrest Gregg's got to be in there. Probably go Josh Sitton at guard. Probably Bakhtiari at left tackle. I don't know, man. That's tough. That's a real tough one. That is a very, very tough one. Dale, good evening from London. Good evening from New York City. I hope you are well. Dagwood and Zayek. Garbage take, Nagler. I'm sorry the truth hurts, man. I only speak the truth. What you do with the truth, that's on you. 100%. Dustin, thanks for the super chat. Heard a rumor the Niners offered 2/3 this year and a first next year versus the Jets' offer of a 2 this year and an additional 2 next year. That would become a 1. Dustin, I'm only going to sing the song once. Roo, I heard a rumor. They say you got a broken trade. That's a Bananarama song. That's how old I am. Man, you can't. Sure. Where did you hear the rumor? Did Brian Gutekunst call you? Did Joe Douglas hit you up on text? I don't buy any of that, man. Sorry. That is just me. Anton, thanks for the super chat. Moody is automatic. How early is too early for a kicker? If you ask Corey, the 7th round is too early. But, I mean, I'm fine anywhere on day 3, really. I mean, my old pal Justice says the draft is over after the 4th round. Post 4th round, you're really throwing darts. So I'm fine taking a kicker anytime after that. But we'll see. I'm with you, though. I'd be fine with that selection, no doubt. Gary, Ken Rutgers is definitely a call. I want to put him in there, too. There's too many. You got 100 years of dudes to choose from. It's hard, man. Doug, keep drafting Georgia kids. There is a reason that Georgia carries the G. The Lord wanted it. Well, there you go, Doug. I can't. How can I push back? I mean, that's science right there. You've locked it in. Well done. Jason, thanks for the super chat. Do you think we could package 2 second-round picks and get another first-rounder? Could they? Yeah, probably, but I doubt they would. I think they want as many kind of, quote, swings at the plate, bites the apple, use your metaphor, as possible. If there's a player that they absolutely adore and want to go get, yeah, I mean, hell, they tried to get 3 first-rounders last year. They had the 2, obviously, after the trade for Devontae. They took, Walker and Wyatt, and then they tried to get to 32 to take Watson. So it was going to be 3 first-rounders last year. So could they make, a trade to get up for another first-rounder? Yeah, absolutely. But I still think it's unlikely. Nags comp for Tunyon, UDFA, Goot sucks. What? What, Brandy? I don't get it. I don't think they get a comp pick for Tunyon, though, signing, because he was his contract voided. He wasn't a true unrestricted free agent. Soder, thanks for the super chat. Holland or Hawk? Oof. Probably Hawk. I saw that I haven't seen, there hasn't been the official, it hasn't been 24 hours since I put up the poll on my Twitter page, but last night in the happy hour, we had a good conversation, good debate about who was the better backer for the Packers, A.J. Hawk or Nick Barnett. Now, I think it's Nick Barnett. I know Corey agrees it's Nick Barnett. But to the surprise of absolutely no one, Hawk was leading the poll even as recently as a couple hours ago. So it's not too late if you want to go vote. But yeah, between Holland and Hawk, I'd probably take Hawk. Lee, thanks for the super chat. Is there any danger of Jordan Love having his first starter year like Mahomes? A lot of comps with Mahomes coming out of the draft. Any danger of J. Love having his first starter year like Mahomes? I don't think that was terrible. I think he played okay his first year as a starter. Danger. I don't see the danger there. As far as like the Mahomes comp, it's the athleticism and the ability to make plays off schedule. I think that people are seeing. I don't think anyone's going to mistake him for Mahomes anytime soon. And anyone expecting that needs to put some cold water on their face. It's just the tools are there, and that's one of the reasons that the Packers and people in the NFL like the kid as a prospect is because as raw as he was coming out, and he was super raw, it was very exciting to think about that guy being molded and developing in the NFL. The problem being, of course, is if you threw him in there too early, he's probably not going to be ready. And at this point, he's ready. So it's going to be fun to watch, or it should be anyway. Jason, thanks for the super chat. Where do you put Ed Icebox West on the hierarchy of Green Bay tight ends? Sir, that's toolbox, if you please. Ed West, favorite player in his time. The Packers haven't had a great pantheon of all-world tight ends, so he's in the convo for, top 10. I'll give him that, 100%. Mimsy, thanks for the super chat. Looking forward to the 2023 draft stream niche. 2022's crop of Bears equals poop, and so does Michael McDonald. Top Corey's 2021 round 7 meat market rant. I don't know, man. Last year was great, but I don't know if anything will ever top the meat market rant. That was absolutely insane and incredible and compelling and absolutely absurd and hilarious. All rolled into one. That is probably one of my favorite moments ever live for Cheesehead TV. No doubt about it. That's amazing, Colin. Can LiveX develop a Voight-Kampff Turing test so we can determine Packers? You say fabs, but I think you mean fans. So like, Blade Runner, when they have the test to detect a replicant, like we can have a Packers fan test. I'm down with it, man. I'm down with it. The problem, of course, is like, you never want to tell anybody how to fan. Like, people can fan millions of different ways, right? But there certainly are bandwagon jumpers. There certainly are people who are more Aaron Rodgers fans than Packers fans. And y'all reveal yourself every day. See a meat market rant. Oh, you guys don't even know. Towards the end of the 7th round 2 years ago on the Cheesehead TV live stream, Tyler found a negative review of Corey's favorite meat market. And he threw it out into the chat. And Corey went absolutely ballistic. It was more so the way that people would get mad at draft picks. Like years ago when Rashawn Gary was picked and people were like, oh, the Packers have blown it and it's a terrible pick and blah, blah, blah. That was Corey about this meat market review. I mean, I can't really describe it. It's like indescribable. Like he just had a complete meltdown. I mean, to be fair, we were live for 3 days in a row and it was towards the end and we were all very loopy and he just lost it. It was funny. Jason, thanks for the super chat. Jordan Love against the Saints this preseason had a crazy play that almost was a touchdown. I think he threw it to 27. He had a number of great throws this preseason. One in particular that I remember against the Saints where was a deep over to the opposite side of the field. Like usually when you have an over, the quarterback, you have your quarterback rolling to his right and you have an over coming along with him. But on this particular play, he had a shallow boot to his right, and he threw back to an over to Dubs all the way on the opposite side of the field. Like, perfect angle, dropped in a bucket. That's one of the most impressive throws I've seen him make. And that was against the Saints in the preseason. So that's a game you can go back and watch on NFL Plus if you're jonesing for some Jordan Love content. That's a good one. No doubt about it. Clayton says, need my Thanks 12 shirt. Well, you should see them available right down below this video. Usually there's a shelf for our Teespring store. And if you don't see it there, then go to cheeseheadtv.com, just hit shop, and you'll be taken to our store, and just scroll down, and you'll find it. But yes, the Thanks 12 merch is great. Brent absolutely knocked it out of the park with that illustration. 100%. What else we got here, folks? James. Hi, Nags. Hi, James. How are you? Thanks for checking out the stream on Facebook. Appreciate it, man. Oh no, what? Corey must be happy to have the $60 million quarterback off the books. Well, I think he's happy to be turning the page to a new chapter. Yes. I don't think it's so much about having Rodgers off the books or anything like that, or even, having Rodgers' contract gone or even having Rodgers himself gone, but I think he is ready for something new. I think a lot of Packers fans are. No doubt about it. Greetings from Argentina. What's up, Walt? Greetings from New York City. How are you? Can't wait for the trade to happen so the media can declare Rodgers loser of it all, the Packers loser of it all. Also, the draft so the draft industrial complex can give us an F grade. Cheers. Man, Walt, it feels like you've been down this road before. Seems like you know what the deal is here. Yeah, the who won the trade stuff is going to be excruciating after the trade goes down. And there's zero doubt. You already can tell. Everyone in the media who said the Packers have the leverage is going to declare the Packers winners. Everyone who said the Jets had all the leverage are going to declare the Jets the winners, and we can all move on. And I'm really looking forward to that day. Can't wait to see how the red zone offense improves, hopefully. Jeff, very much agree. I made a short from a convo I had here on Daily a week ago. Just get Aaron Jones the ball more, man, especially inside the 5-yard line. I mean, he was not given any opportunities last year. I think he got 2 carries inside the 5 the entire season. The man needs the ball in his hands, as close to the goal line as possible. Get it to him. Clayton is just waiting on shipment. Awesome, man. Fantastic. What else we got? Is Lot 1 going to be ready for the season? That's a good question, Paul. I know they had their video. The Packers put out a video with the new video boards and everything, but I had the same question. I was like, yeah, well, what about Lot 1? I think there's a chance it is, but don't hold me to it. I know originally they had said that the work was going to go through this offseason, and it should be ready for camp this year, but I don't think that's a guarantee. We'll see. Oh, hey, Lot 9 held it down really well last year over there on the other side of the facility. It was still a party. It was still a lot of fun. And I ran into a bunch of people I knew over there. Man, it doesn't matter. Packers fans are going to throw down. Oh, and hey, I want to give a shout out to Stadium View. Congrats on their remodeling. I just saw the pictures on Facebook. It looks so great. I mean, Stadium View has been there forever. They're an institution, and they have done some serious remodeling. If you're in the area, go check it out because it looks dope as hell. And I am definitely going to check it out when I get to Green Bay for camp. No question about it. All right, everybody. Oh, Terminal. What did I miss? I missed something? Terminal Frost. I'd sing the song, but it's an instrumental, so nobody wants to hear that. I don't see it, man. It's not there. I'm going all the way back up. I'm sorry, my dude. I literally do not see it. I am all the way back at the top, and there is no Terminal Frost super chat. I'm sorry, man. I'm going to blame user error. Because I want to make sure. Sorry, man. Sorry, brother, man. I do not see it. My apologies. Kaufman or Chimura? Ooh, that's a good one. Give me Kaufman. But Chimura absolutely was a stud on the 96 team. No question about it. All right, everybody. Got to get going. Can't thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV Super Channels. Please, please, please do me a monster favor. Hit like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. And like I said, I am off tomorrow. I'm off through Tuesday. So behave yourselves. If a trade goes down, don't go too crazy. I'll be back. If the trade does go down, I'll probably hop on for a minute or two. But other than that, I will be pretty much off the grid for the weekend. Going to go down to New Orleans and have a good time. Please stay safe while I'm gone. And hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, and tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great weekend. Go Pack, go.